But right now I want to talk about how to make money, okay? Because as much as we all went into this because we loved it, and that's absolutely the truth, you cannot just live that way. That's not enough. Learning music is not enough to make a living in the music business. You have to realize, now if learning music is enough, then fine, you don't need to know this. And you just want to play, and if people hire you, fine, and if people want to listen to you, fine, or you'll get a day job, you know. But if you want to pay the mortgage, if you want to send your kids to school, okay, or even afford kids at all, you know, you need to think of yourself as a tiny business, all right? Exactly that way. The same way as any business markets, so do you. The most important thing about it is identifying what you do and who pays for it. Okay, so you'll say, if you're going into the market, don't just go into a market and say, yeah, I'm a musician and I do these other things and so forth. Say what you do exactly, all right? Also, another thing, be prepared to say things like this. My name is Jim Ellis. I started a long time ago working for Mary Tyler Moore. I did music for WKRP in Cincinnati, Buffalo Bill with Dabney Coleman. I did National Diet Coca-Cola ads for years. I've had 2 songs played in the Olympic Games, 4 shows on the Discovery Channel. Be prepared to say things like that. Be prepared to say exactly who you are in the minimum amount of time, in some sort of professional way, okay? Don't look like you just woke up either, if that's possible. But what you want to do is say, all right, if I'm a player, who hires players? And so you identify contractors and you identify bands. You look in the thing and look for where the people with the money is. You don't just appear. You go and introduce yourself to people. And there's a story that goes along with this. It's, I'll think of his name, Peter Stroud. Have you ever seen, it's a story I called, And So They Hired Peter, okay? And have you ever seen Sheryl Crow? Okay, as you're viewing Sheryl Crow, to her right is a tall, thin guy with long blonde hair who plays guitar and who plays all the slide things and who's her lead player. That's Peter Stroud, okay? He's from here. Now, about 20 years ago, okay, Peter was my guy. He would come in and play, and he was from here, and he was just starting out, and he was killer, and still is killer, but, you know. And one day he came in and said, and he would go out with opening bands, and, you know, and he was a good traveler, and he could do all that, you know, I mean, he could play. And so he came in and said, I'm moving to Los Angeles. And I said, well, do you have, you know, who you're playing with? And he said, I don't know. And I said, are you kidding me? He said, no, but I met the people with Sheryl Crow, and I'm going to go hang out with them. Okay? And so they helped him get work and so forth and so on. And when the job of guitar player opened up, did they have auditions? Sheryl Crow could have anybody in America play guitar for her. Anybody. Okay? And all the money in the world, whatever, she could have anybody. But they gave the job to Peter. Of course, because there he was, and he was qualified to do the job. So being qualified, like I said before, hugely important. But being there and having them know your name, they can't hire you if they don't know you, and it doesn't matter how good you are if they don't know you. So identify your market. If it is, if you want to do studio work, find out who the producers are. Find out where the studio work is. Who hires these people? Go there and say, hello, my name is Jim Ellis. I did you know, and do that. But it has to do with identifying who, and web pages are now a big deal. It's simple. I use my web page for like a sample book, okay? I'll say all of those things I just said, right? And then if you need to know any more, go to my website, jimellismusic.com.